Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's March Madness. It is March 2nd. Good morning, happy new month, happy new week, happy new day to you. Good morning. Weeping may endure for a night. You may have cried some nights, but I came to declare to you that it is morning time and your morning time is over. All right. I said it's morning time and your morning time, your time of crying is over. So, good morning to you. Welcome to March Madness. Welcome to a new month, a new week. I'm certainly glad to have you on our coaching call. Build. Come on, get excited. Wake on up this morning. It is a rise and build. It's a new month, a new day, a new week, and new opportunities for you to activate, execute, and dominate in every space that God has ordained for you. I'm excited as we take on this new month and we take on some new things. And so let me just kind of give you some housekeeping and let you know where we are. So in the month of March, we're starting. Tomorrow was started because I announced it, but I didn't know if I really announced it. So I'll announce it today that 5 a.m. Eastern time, that's 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. That is 2 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. We're going to be waking up for a time of arise and pray. We're going to pray for about 20-25 minutes each morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 4 a.m. Central, 2 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. We're going to be up every morning, Monday through Friday, and we're going to be praying God's principles through. So that's every morning, 5 a.m. Eastern time, 4 a.m. Central time, 2 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. We'll be up for a time of arise and prayer. That will be on Rev J Daniels Facebook page. That will be on Rev J Daniels Facebook page every morning for a time of arise and pray. So make sure that you join us there or catch the replay there. We're going to pray through some things. We're going to believe God. We're going to have scripture. We're going to have affirmations. You just need to be in that time of prayer and release. All right. And then, of course, right here on Arise and Build, we'll be here on YouTube only. I'm going to stream it on Facebook this week just to keep reminding you to follow the YouTube channel. So I will put the YouTube channel in the description of this video so that you can join the YouTube. The coaching, Arise and Build, will strictly be on YouTube. Everybody needs to go follow the YouTube page so that you can be a part of the time of Arise and Pray, Arise and Build. So Rise and Pray will be on Rev J Daniels only on Facebook, and Rise and Build will be on YouTube. Starting tomorrow, it's Tuesday Night Live. We will have Bible study every Tuesday night. Virtual Bible study will be on our Grace City page on Facebook and YouTube. So you need to make sure you follow the Grace City page on YouTube and Facebook so that you can be in our virtual Bible study every Tuesday night. You want to be a part of that. And so those are some things that you can keep up with us. I'll create a flyer that will show you where we are every day and what place you need to follow us on. And then I'll create a link tree where you'll be able to find the links for all of those places in one place. All right. So I'm excited. As I said, God is really charging us to move forward. Don't forget September 8th, 9th, and 10th. We will be in Atlanta, Georgia for this year's Vision Fest. I am excited to finally get this out of my spirit, get this off paper, and bring it into a reality for you. I'm really excited about what God is getting ready to push you to see, and that's greatness in every mountain of influence that He's called you to be in. He's getting ready to anoint you and appoint you for such a time as this. And so, as we get started this month, our theme will be March Madness, canceling the chaos. Yep, that's it. I believe God wants to do some great things in our lives, but we need to cancel some of this chaos, some of this all over the place, some of this being pulled every which way and being thinned out. And so I'm excited as we go through March Madness and we just begin to cancel some of the chaos that's in our life. God is not the author of confusion. All right. And so we will be doing that this month. This month. Most people keep trying to fix their life without ever looking at it. They change goals, they start routines, they download planners, but they never stop long enough to ask a very dangerous question. What is my life actually made of right in this moment? Not what you intend, not what you desire, but what does it really consist of every day as of right now? Because frustration usually isn't coming from lack of effort, it comes from misdirected effort. I'll say that again. Do-do-do-do. Press play. Frustration usually isn't coming from the lack of effort, but it is coming from misdirected effort. You don't feel behind because you're lazy. You feel behind because your attention is scattered across too many places. Today isn't about discipline, not yet at least. It's about seeing, it's about noticing, it's about acknowledging. You can't bring order to your life if you've never honestly examined it. Clarity comes before change. And in order to get clarity, you must take a step back and really examine the life you're living. I'm excited today because uh, day one of this month of our Council of the Chaos March Madness is the life audit. Today's topic is the life audit. Today's coaching call is the life audit. One of the things you'll often hear me say, if you've ever heard me preach, teach, speak, coach in any setting, that I am of the best generation. I really do believe that. No shade, no tea. I'm not talking about anybody else's generation, but I believe I am the best generation to walk the earth as of now. Why do I say that? Okay, it's not pride or arrogance. I promise. It is because I remember writing letters, passing notes. I remember writing letters in school and passing notes to my friends. I remember writing letters to family members and cousins and mailing them off. I remember calling on the phone and you didn't have caller ID, so you just had to answer the phone to see who was on the other line. I remember when my mother and my grandmother used to yell, "Get off the phone, I'm expecting a call," because there was no call waiting. I remember when we got call waiting and we thought that was the best thing since sliced bread, and we got caller ID, and you knew if you wanted to answer or not, and you knew if you wanted to put the person on hold to answer the other call because we had caller ID and call waiting. I remember the car phone that actually was attached to the car. I remember when we got that first brick cell phone. I remember when Nokia came out and it had where you could change the interfaces and we played games like Snake and Snake 2. I remember when we had a beeper and a two-way pager. I remember when we had AOL dial up and we had email and we had AOL Instant Messenger and Yahoo Instant Messenger. I remember the transition of technology. I remember the first desktop computer to be sold to the public. I remember when Gateway was an important contributor in the computer space. I remember when Mac was actually Apple Macintosh. I remember when the Apple actually was a rainbow. I remember when technology started transitioning. But one of the things that we lost in transition is because I remember before you left the house, you would print out your MapQuest directions. Yeah, you would print them out because there was no cellular phone that told you the directions as you went. You had the traditional map in the glove box that you had to learn how to read. I don't think this generation even knows how to read a physical map anymore. But after the physical map, we were able to download directions from MapQuest. Put a one in the comments if you from that time period where you downloaded a map from MapQuest. Well, the thing I liked about MapQuest is it didn't just ask you for your destination because it didn't have a GPS built into it. You had to also give it your starting point. With this generation, the downfall of this generation is that it does not require a starting point. You just get your phone, whether you have Google or Android, and if you have Android, Lord help you. You just get your phone and you type your destination in, and it automatically detects where you're starting from, and it starts GPSing you to that direction. Well, the problem is there is no honest assessment of where you are today because you don't need to. You just need to put the destination in. And many of us are trying to live life. We're trying to do destiny. We're trying to live in purpose without taking an honest assessment of where we're starting at. We're just putting it in a GPS and we're starting our routines. We're starting our directions. We're starting our habits. We're starting our new jobs. We're starting our new directions without actually honestly assessing where we are today. I'm still in my introduction. Many of us are not assessing where we're starting from. We're not being honest and real about our starting point. That's where we fail at. And we don't take a life assessment. I know what my goal is. I want to lose some weight. I know what my goals is. I want to make some more money. I know what my goals is. I want to start this business. But can I really step back and take an assessment? What are my habits? How am I eating? When am I eating? When am I working out? What am I working out? What are my habits as it relates to work? Why am I procrastinating? Why am I a perfectionist? We're not taking an honest assessment of where we are. What is our starting point? We got the destination. We may even got the direction, but we got to take a life audit to determine where we're starting. Let me get into our points today. Point number one, awareness creates authority. Write it down. Awareness creates authority. What you don't measure ultimately controls you. Oh, yeah, I'll say it again. What you don't measure controls you. That's why foods control you, because you saying, I'm saying it too. No, don't let me just say you. Let me point the finger at myself, because you saying, and by you I mean me, JD, that I don't need to measure my food. I don't need to count my calories. I don't need to figure out this and figure out that. And that's why food is controlling you, because you don't think you need to measure it. So it is controlling you. I don't need to measure how much time I spend on the internet scrolling social media, and that's why social media is controlling you. I don't need to measure how much time I'm watching reality TV, and that's why reality TV is controlling you. Because what you don't measure will ultimately end up controlling you. Your life runs on unconscious patterns. Write that down. Your life runs on unconscious patterns, not decisions, but patterns. Most people live by reaction, notification, then response, emotion, then action, request, and then a yes. So we feel busy, but we're never effective. Someone says, I had no time to pray, think, work out, or plan. But in the same breath, you spend 20 hours scrolling 2 hours scrolling social media. You spend 40 minutes deciding on what to eat. And you have constant interruptions and constantly switching tasks. It's not laziness, it's unseen and unmeasured allocations. But yet you keep saying, I don't have time to pray. I don't have time to think. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to plan. And because you've not allowed it time in other areas and measured it, you spend too much time doing other things. One of the greatest things that I want to do in the month of March is I want to allocate in a schedule every waking moment of the day. I know it sounds extreme, but I'm starting with just a little task that I want to get to that point. And that's not some point that you just wake up and boom, I got a calendar now. It's going to be something, okay, let me schedule a workout. Let me put a workout on my schedule. Every day at this time, I'm going to work out. So then now that part of my schedule is blocked. Let me read a book before I go to sleep. Now, wait a minute. If you're going to work out when you wake up, you need to work your brain before you go to sleep. So put 20 minutes, 30 minutes of reading a book or reading an article or reading something in your industry before you go to bed. If you read bedtime stories to your kids before they went to sleep, why you can't read before you go to sleep for your own brain development? Just start there. And when you start there, you got a set time of wake up and a set routine in the morning. You got a set time to go to bed and a set routine before you go to bed. And before you know it, you have started building your day. You don't have to have a calendar tomorrow. Let's just start consistently adding small things until we have built a life that is measurable and it is in time management. It's calendared. Today, don't fix anything. This is your application. Today, don't fix anything. Just observe how your time, energy, and focus actually flows. Just write it down. At this time, I was doing that. At this time, I looked at this. I scrolled this. Every time you think about it, just write down what you do during the day. Don't fix anything today. Just write it down so that you can observe where it needs to change and tweak and be edited and measured. So the way our coaching call is going to be now is I'm going to start giving you different assignments to each thing. So just you need to be writing down. I know you normally wait to the end and get your homework, but you're going to be getting coaching assignments throughout the whole call. So today we just observe, writing down what you're spending your time, your energy, and your focus on. Okay. Number 2, noise feels like responsibility. Write that down. But it ain't. But it ain't. Noise feels like when it's a bunch of noise, a bunch of stuff going on, it feels like responsibility. But activity and alignment are not the same. Write that down. Activity and alignment are not the same. They're not the same. Oh, I'm over my time. Let me hurry. Many of the things draining us feel important because they are urgent, quote unquote, emotional, or loud. But urgency is not priority. Write that down. Urgency is not priority. Write it down again. Urgency is not priority. Rewind it. Urgency is not priority. Your mind treats every input equally unless you intentionally ranks them. Your mind will treat every input equally unless you intentionally rank them. You're gonna have to decide to rank the things that come to your mind intentionally. Texts can get answered before purpose because you rank them the same. Problems get attention before you set out plans because you rank them the same. People's expectations outrank your own personal direction because you have not intentionally ranked them. So your day feels before your purpose even gets a vote, before your plan even gets a pen to paper, and before your personal direction can even get a grasp of standing up. Because you're being pulled in many different directions because noise begins to feel like responsibility to you. The children, my spouse, the job, the friends, the comments, the posts. Everything feels like responsibility. I got to comment. I got to say something. I got to sound the alarm. I got to stop them. I got to tell them. I got to alert them. I got to pray with them. And you are pulled in many directions because noise started to feel like responsibility. Today, I want you to start noticing what demanded my attention today that never deserved it. So today, as you get texts, as you get calls, as you get posts, as you get inboxes, begin to write them down. Where did your attention go? Then at the end of the day, start observing where did I give attention today that you know what I could that it didn't deserve it. At least not today. And then start ranking. Start ranking. I start ranking it. Some of you all need to go on a social media fast so that you can detach your brain and your thumb from social media. Well, I need social media to market, and I need social media for my ads, and I need social media because that's what my clients. All that sounds good and wonderful, but you have not measured it. So you need to break fast with that. You need to break your attention with that, so that it can become a tool and not a master. All right, let me get out of that because I get in trouble. Number 3. Awareness reduces anxiety. Awareness reduces anxiety. Confusion creates this overwhelming sense. Where there's no clarity, there creates this overwhelming sense. So that means when I become aware or become clear in areas, I can reduce that anxiety. Your brain relaxes when reality becomes defined. Some of you, your brain is racing. And the only way to get that brain from racing like that is to define real reality. Vague life equals a heavy life. When you name life, when you name what it is, when you name things, when you got measurable things, when you got intentionality, it becomes a manageable life. You don't panic about a list. When you got a list of things to do and a list of places to go and a list of things to check off, that's not what brings you panic. What brings you panic is the fog or the unsurety or the indecisiveness or the not knowing where to start or not knowing what's important or what's priority. That fog is what causes you to panic. What causes you to be overwhelmed, what causes you to be stressed, what causes you to be anxious. So awareness, priority, measurement will reduce that anxiety. People say I'm overwhelmed, but once they start listing everything, half of it disappears or becomes simple. I got a busy day today. I was talking to my wife last night, and I had a busy. I was talking about my day being busy today, and for a brief moment, you can ask my wife. For a brief moment, I said, I'm overwhelmed. I got call after call, Zoom after Zoom, team meet after team meet today. And I said, I may have took on too much for one day. It's Monday of all days. I said, I may have took on too much for one day. And then I sat down on the couch in front of our bed and I said, let me just put it all in a calendar. Because the overwhelmness was because I wasn't aware of what call I needed to be on, what was the method of call, who was the call with. I didn't have all of that out. But when I became aware and put everything in a calendar, I realized the day was a little more simple than I thought. and that I wasn't overwhelmed, and that all of the calls were incongruent or along the same subject, the same topic. It was different people, different methods, but I could handle them all in one day because they were all on the same page. I just simply needed to input them in my calendar so that I wouldn't be overwhelmed with the who, the what, the why, the where. I put all that in my calendar. Once you create a list, half of the things disappear or become unimportant. It becomes simple. The things that you're really overwhelmed with, you realize you're really not overwhelmed. You're just in chaos. You're just in confusion. You're just in clutter. Tonight, I want you to write down what actually filled your day today. Remember, I told you to take notes all day. I want you to write down tonight what filled your day. Not your intentions. That's why I'm not asking you to do it this morning, because this morning you're going to write down what your intentions are for the day. I don't want your intentions. I want your reality. What did you actually do and accomplish today? I want you to write that down tonight. Today's homework is a 24-hour life audit. I want you to track where your time goes, where your drained energy went, what gave you energy today, what was unnecessary decisions, what was emotional reactions, and where did I spend my money? Oh, I'm going to get in trouble with that one. Where did I spend my money? So today we're doing a 24-hour life audit. Where does my time go? Where did my time went? Let me say it in past tense because you're going to do it tonight. Where did my time go? What drained my energy? What gave me energy? What was unnecessary decisions? What was emotional reactions? And where did I spend money today? This is your 24-hour life audit. And maybe I'll throw together, in a little bit, I'll throw together like a journal prompt and post it into our school app. So make sure you join the school app. I'll put it in a PDF form today. And so by the end of today, you'll have the PDF form to fill in this. Okay. I'll put it in a PDF form. Let me put that in my notes right now. And ask you these questions so that if you didn't get a chance to write it down, if you just go to the school app, the coaching assignments will be placed in the school app each day. That way, if it's something like this, so I'll create like a journal page for you to write this down. Where did your time go? What drained your energy? What gave you energy? What was unnecessary decisions? What emotional reactions you had today? And where did you spend money? Don't correct anything. Just observe it. Just write it down. You're not trying to become disciplined, not yet. You're just trying to be honest with yourself. Where am I starting? I got the destination. And Jay, you can coach me on the direction, but none of the direction or the destination matter if I don't locate, be honest with my starting point. Because chaos survives in vagueness. Order begins the moment reality becomes clear. Tomorrow we'll start identifying the mental noise behind the patterns and stuff like that. But today, just observe where you start. Today's declarations and affirmations. Today I choose awareness over assumptions. I'm honest about how I live. I'm no longer ruled by unconscious habits. Clarity is entering my life. I see clearly so I can live intentionally. I see clearly so that I can live intentionally. That's today's affirmation. You can find it in our school app, Creating Your Now, right there. I invite you to join the school app. I invite you to join the school app by clicking the link in the description of the video. Please do so. Join the school app so you can be a part of it, so you can get the today's worksheet, so you can get all of the notifications and updates right there. Make sure you like, tag, follow, share this page, this broadcast. Okay, share it out. Tell somebody to subscribe to the YouTube channel for our daily coaching, 25 to 30 minutes each day. We're going to coach you into your next. Your next is right now. You just need somebody to get you there. And I'm gonna be your coach. I'm gonna be your mentor. You have a destiny, and I'm gonna help you get there. Right? If you want to sow, you want to sow, you want to partner, you want to put a seed in the ground, I want to give you the opportunity to do so. The ways of doing that is in the description of the video. It's in the comments of the video if you're on Facebook, but it's in the description of the video on YouTube, PayPal, Zelle, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Cash App, Venmo. It's all right there. This week, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you, if you're sowing with us, to sow a seed of 8 new beginnings. Sow a seed of 8. We're going to sow a seed of 8 all week this week. We're going to sow a seed of 8. However that looks, $1.88, $8.88, 28.88, 58.88, 88.88. I don't know how it looked for you, but we're going to sow a seed of 8. We're believing in new beginnings. We believe that March is going to be a month of new beginnings for us. And so we're going to sow this week as the Lord leads us into a new beginning. But it starts with us today identifying where we are today. All right. So put your seed in the ground. The Bible says, press down, shaking together, running over, shall he cause men to give unto your bosom. So I declare that as you obey God and you sow, give, and it shall be given back unto you. I decree and declare that somebody use their power, their ability, their influence, their affluence, their network, and their net worth today, this week, this month, on your behalf. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Make sure you join us in the morning, 5 a.m. Eastern time, 4 a.m. Central time, right on Rev J Daniels Facebook page. We're going to be arise and pray every morning, Monday through Friday. We're gonna pray this thing through. Feel the Holy Ghost. We're gonna pray this thing through. This is the hour that the saints got to come back to prayer. And so we're going to pray this thing through. I'll see you tomorrow for Rise and Pray. And then I'll see you right back here on YouTube at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m. Central time for our time of Arise and Build. More grace to you. Go, grow, and glow. May his peace, his protection, and his provision be your portion. Until we meet again, same time, same place. See you later.